Climate change. Climate change is not only about for environmental concerns. How would you manage it? Unless other aspects like economies and parity in thoughts, collective actions come up. The urgency to address climate change goes beyond environmental concerns. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? This is your host Devottam, and you are listening to Better You, Better Life, a self improvement plan podcast, season 1 and episode 35. I hope you are enjoying our climate change 7-part episode series podcast. I also want to thank the reports that were generated by United Nations Environment and Program UNEP, then Food and Agricultural Organization, and UNFCCC because it has helped me in providing lots of research material after which I'm able to speak to you about climate change. On an individual level, definitely it has helped me in improving my understanding about climate change, and now I'm happy that I'm able to share my understanding with all of you, and I hope that this will help you some value in your life. Today's topic is somewhat little bit disturbing maybe, or somebody may not relate with it, but it's fine. We will be discussing about climate justice and fairness. It also necessitates an understanding of the concept of climate justice, which focuses on the equitable distribution of the burdens and benefits associated with combating global warming. In this series, in this episode, we will try to shed light on the importance of climate justice in addressing the disproportionate impacts of climate change on marginalized communities and developing nations. My dear friends, it may sound little harsh to you, but it is true. It is always the developed nations that dominated the discussion forums. Developing or other third world countries were never considered for discussions. Although, on a positive note, it took lots and lots of years of dialogue that they are being considered as stakeholders gradually. By advocating for fairness, inclusivity, and a just transition to a low carbon society, we can strive for a future where the impacts of climate change are not borne by the most vulnerable and even the privileged. Everyone has a stake in creating a sustainable world. The first aspect of this episode is disproportionate impacts on marginalized communities. As I discussed in my previous episode, that climate change disproportionately affects marginalized communities, including low-income households, indigenous tribes and people, and racial and ethnic minorities. These communities often have limited resources or social vulnerabilities, making them more susceptible to the impacts of extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and food and water scarcity. Displacement, migration, loss of livelihoods, and compromised health are among the challenges that they face in today's life. Climate justice is also calls for targeted measures to address these disparities, ensuring that the voices of the weak and needs of marginalized communities are at the forefront of consideration in the decision-making process by the higher authorities. This brings me to discuss about the another aspect of this climate justice is that equitable distribution of costs and benefits. See, it has always happened that the privileged will always get through it because they have money, they have power, they have accessibility. But it is the lowest segment of the pyramid that suffers every time, and they have to bear the brunt of this weather phenomena. So climate justice also demands that the costs and benefits associated with addressing climate change are distributed uniformly among all the stakeholders. Historically, developed nations have contributed the most to greenhouse gas emissions thank you to the Industrial Revolution, and while developing countries bear the brunt of the impact. I'm not here blaming developed nations also, because what we were going through is also a reformation process, something towards the advanced society. But the fact is, we have probably lost more than what we have gained. So it is important to raise these issues and discuss among various forums to come up with some kind of way forward that is sustainable for all the stakeholders. Achieving climate justice also requires acknowledging historical responsibility and providing financial and technological support to vulnerable nations. It also entails promoting sustainable development pathways that prioritize the well-being of all rather than existing inequalities. Also, we will discuss about the third aspect of this episode is just transition to a low carbon society. See, it might look or it might sound very flashy, but it's a very effective and useful concept to learn. A just transition to a low carbon society, the concept it is refers to the processes of shifting to a low carbon society in such a manner that it protects workers, the communities, and the economy as a whole. It involves ensuring that those affected by the transition away from fossil fuels are supported with reskilling, upgrading themselves, then retraining, job opportunities in renewable energy sectors, and social safety nets, so that their livelihood is preserved and they could easily transform from a traditional livelihood society to low carbon society. That's what climate justice also calls for, a holistic approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of social, economic, and environmental dimensions. It seeks to avoid the burden of transition falling solely on those who are least responsible for climate change and least able to adapt. We also have to consider the aspect of empowering marginalized communities. Climate justice entails empowering marginalized communities to actively participate in decision-making processes and shaping climate policies. There are many good examples available at global level, but if I quote few of them, then this episode will become a bit longer. But it briefly summarizes that now governments of various countries have changed their approach and they are becoming more democratic in involving all those vulnerable communities as considering their voice, including them in an inclusive way in the decision making processes that will help in shaping all those policies. This also includes ensuring that proper representation in climate negotiations, providing access to information and resources, and supporting community-led initiatives. By valuing diverse perspectives and local knowledge of the tribal people who are the line, who are the first line of defense and who are closely associated with natural resources, and their knowledge is of paramount importance, we can create inclusive solutions that address the unique challenges faced by different communities. So my dear friends, on a concluding note, we can say that climate justice is also a critical component of our collective response to climate change. It not only requires recognizing but addressing the disproportionate impacts of global warming on marginalized communities and developing nations. By advocating for fair distribution of costs and benefits, promoting a just transition and empowering the most affected, we can create a more equitable and sustainable future for our upcoming generations. That's why, my dear friends, climate justice reminds us that in the fight against climate change, no one should be left behind, and together we can forge a path towards a more just and resilient world. With this concluding note, I hope you found this episode helpful. For the next episode, we will touch another topic on climate change in order to become better version of ourselves. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Until we meet next time, enjoy your weekend. Signing off.